Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm continuing on with my series of Fast and Furious reviews, and today I'm reviewing Fate of the Furious, starring Vin Diesel, The Rock, Jason Statham and Kurt Russell. When a mysterious woman approaches Tony Toretto into the world of terrorism, an abattoir of those closest to him, the crew faces trial that will test them as never before. Going into this one, I was very nervous going into this because, as you guys have seen my Furious 7 review, I really liked that one. I thought that one was the best in the series so far. I thought that all the others were from good to awesome, and the third one was incredible to me. So I think it's just one of those things, right? And I was curious on how they were going to deal with this, because you gotta remember too that this one, Paul Walker's not in at all, so I was curious on how they were going to do it. So watching it, I was like, I was excited to see what this movie was gonna do and deal with. And the movie deals with something that's actually very interesting. What if Dom turned on his family? So that whole scene where Dom runs into Hobbs, I was like, holy moly, what in the world? Throughout this movie, I was like, no wonder why they gave Hobbs and Shaw a spin-off. Because they're actually really entertaining this movie. Their camaraderie with each other and their communications is actually really, really funny. And I actually really like that about this movie, their interactions within each other. Like that's actually very funny to me. And I really like how The Rock and Jason Statham play those characters and how they play their banter. I actually really like that about their relationship. There is something that is missing in this movie though. And that's Paul Walker. Because you watch this movie and you're like, whereabouts is Paul Walker? And you're like, oh yeah, he passed away even while they were shooting the 7th one. So it's one of those things where you're like, this is a good and entertaining movie. Like, I actually realized this movie better than I thought I was going to. But I do agree with a lot of people that this movie does have a Paul Walker-shaped hole in it. Where, like, because his character fits well with Dom, and their brotherliness bond really makes these movies. And he's actually one of my favorite. Brian's actually my favorite character other than Dom. So you need that bromance to, no matter how ridiculous the movies are, you care about the characters and you care about Dom and Brian and their adventure through their struggles, and because Paul Walker passed away, it's much like Heath Ledger, how Heath Ledger passed away, how the Dark Knight Rises could go in a different direction if Heath Ledger didn't pass away. I'm curious if, except for Letty playing a big role, I'm curious if Brian would have taken the Letty role and Letty would have taken she would have been the second lead, leading that team of people going up against Dom. So I'm curious if that's how they would have put Brian in this movie. Brian would have been the main person leading that group against Dom. But yeah, I think that's the only thing wrong about this movie. The fact that the chick that Dom hooked up with, oh my god, Chris Hemsworth's wife, and the fact that she had a baby and they put out the baby, I was like, sorry, what? That was one big gigantic plot twist to me that I did not see coming whatsoever. I was like, what? This is ridiculous. This is bonkers to me. How did you, oh my god. And then it becomes a whole drama, a soap opera of Fast and Furious. It's crazy to me. as ridiculous that these movies get, they're always entertaining and always find something to grab you back in. And that was that moment for me. And I was liking the movie up until that point. And as soon as that happened, I was like, oh my god, I like this movie even more. Oh my god, this is so crazy. Like, it's bonkers to me. And like, and it's crazy too how like, the fact that Dom didn't know about it is even more bonkers to me. And he also was dealing with the Lee stuff in 6. And I was like, why Letty is going to be so mad about that? Really? Like, it's like, come on, bro. Like, really? Like, come on. And I actually really like all of the spy elements to this movie. I like how Fast and Furious 1 to 4 felt like race movies, and 5 to 7 felt like action movies, and then 8 feels like a spy thriller. So I like how each almost trilogy of movie feels like a race, trilogy, or heist. You gotta remember too, like, Fast and Furious 1 got all the movies back to the racing genre. Like, that was actually the first good race movie in a long time. So, it's one of those things, and like, you look at that, and you also look at, stuff like, the action movies, like, which is like a lot like 5, 6, and 7, because Fast 5 really pushed into the action genre, and a lot of people consider that as one of the best action films of all time, which I consider 7, for me, is one of my favourite movies of all time. But, no, and I really like the way that they actually push that, right? And I like how this one actually felt like a spy movie. I actually really liked that about it. I felt like that the action set pieces I liked more than the ones in 7. Not that the other movies had bad action set pieces, but I love 7. As you guys all know and saw my review, I really like 7 and those action set pieces, but they did get a little too goofy, like them jumping cars from a plane onto a road to get onto a Pacific road and stuff. And it was one of those things where, like, this one had more sense of realism in the action scenes, even with all of the goofiness of it. I think the only action scenes that drags out a little too long that I started to get a little bored was the whole snow chase scene. Because that one, something about that one, I was like, okay, this action scene is way too long. And I like long action scenes, but that one was just like, not much was happening and stuff like that, and I was just like, come on, really? So to be honest, I don't know if I should give this movie a higher rating than 7. You know what? I think I should give Fast 8 4 out of 5 stars. I think I actually really like this movie. I liked it more than some of the other movies, to be honest. I think that some of the stuff in, I think the first era, I think the first 3, I really like the first one. I really like Tokyo Drift. I think Fast 4 is where it started to pick up speed for me, and I actually really like 4. I think it's a great noir, and it's a great, it's an underrated movie out of the Fast and Furious movies. I didn't really like 2. I liked Fast 5 fine, but I didn't love it as much as everyone else does. I liked 6. I really loved 7. 7 was the best out of the bunch for me. And 8 was actually on the same level as 5 and 6 for me. And 4 were like, it's in that group. But yeah, I actually really like this. So guys, I'll be continuing on with Fast and Furious. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, also the little bell icon to get notified of future videos I make. And see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Subscribe to my channel and also press this bell icon.
Everything rides on tonight. Bitch on your stony, I threw it out. Candy paint with the white